Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 3 English lesson on contractions. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts. We're doing grade 3, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of contractions. All right, so our chapter is contractions. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 3, and the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of contractions is pronoun verb contractions and contractions with not. So pronoun verb contractions and contractions with not. All right, so when it comes to contractions, right, contractions is a shortened form of two words. And when we use contractions, then an apostrophe, it shows where one or more of the letters are left out. All right, so once again, we said a contraction. It is a shortened form of two words. And we said that we put an apostrophe. An apostrophe will show where either one word or one letter, sorry, or more than one letter it is left out. And remember, even if there's one letter missing or two letters missing, you only add one apostrophe in its place. Happy New Year to you too. And when it comes to contractions, right, a contraction can also be formed from a pronoun and a verb, meaning the pronoun it takes the place of a noun. So pronouns takes the place of a noun and the verb. And if you look at an example, right? Say for example we have a word I am. For example, you're saying I I am going to the shop, right? So now I is the pronoun, am is our verb. We then basically want to shorten that two words and make it into one word, right? And then what we do is we remove the A and we put the apostrophe in its place. And if you look at an example of the words I am, the pronoun I, and the verb am, I am, if we shorten the two words, then it means that we bring the pronoun, which is I, remove the A, and we put an apostrophe in its place, and we bring the M. So basically, we then shorten or we remove or we leave out letters in the verb, right? And that is basically an example of contractions. All right. There are quite a few words. There are quite a few more words that we can use to basically show the different form of contractions. So we're going to look at a few examples of contractions, and then we're going to try and find the contractions by shortening those two words, right? And if we look at a few examples, and then we can say, let's say, for example, we have I am, which is I'm, and then we, for example, have you are. Look at the word you are. You is our pronoun, are is our verb. We need to basically shorten the word, but we're going to shorten the verb by putting those two words together. So it is going to be a shortened word. We're going to shorten the two words, and it's basically going to be one word. So, for example, if we have an example that says you are, then the pronoun will stay the same, which is you. Then we're going to shorten the verb. We're going to shorten the verb by removing the A, putting an apostrophe in its place, and adding the RE. So basically, you are is youer. Yes. Well done. You are going home now. Well done. It's like saying you are going home now. But you're saying, instead of saying you are, you can just like shorten that two words by saying you are going home now. Well done. If you look at another example where we say we are, we need to shorten these two words. We are. How are we going to shorten these two words? By using the contractions. Remember, the pronoun stays the same. We are. We're also going to shorten they are. It is. He is. She is. How are we going to shorten those words? All right, yes. And if we were to shorten those words, remember we said that the pronoun stays the same? So basically, we shorten the verb. So we are, well done, is going to be we, apostrophe, we remove the A, we are. Well done. We are is correct. Yes, they are. So they, which is the pronoun, stays the same. We remove the A, put an apostrophe in its place. So they are, or they are. Yes, well done. It is. It stays the same. We remove the I, put an apostrophe. Now it becomes it's. So it is nice. It's nice. He is. So he stays the same. The pronoun stays the same. We remove the I in the verb. We put an apostrophe in its place and we bring down the S. So he is, or we say he's. And then last one, yes, well done. The pronoun stays the same, which is she. We remove the I and we bring down the S. We put an apostrophe there. She's. Well done. Well done. And those are examples of contractions. We make pronoun verb contractions and we say that the pronoun stays the same. And then we basically shorten or we remove or leave out words by the verb. Well done. If you look at another one, it says, I will. I will. How can we shorten that word? I will. I will. And what is? Just those two, and then we're done. So I will and what is. The last two, and then we're moving on. Remember, we said that the pronoun stays the same and we shorten the verb. I will. We need to shorten I will. How are we going to shorten I will? Remember, the pronoun stays the same, right? So I will stay the same, right? Then we will remove the W, we will remove the I. We remove the W, we remove the I, we put an apostrophe in its place, and we add the double L. So now, instead of saying I will, we say I'll. Yes, well done. I'll is correct. Yes, and the last one is what is. What is the pronoun? We leave what. And in is, we remove the I, put an apostrophe in its place. So instead of saying what is the matter, we can ask what's the matter. So well done. I'll is correct and what is correct. Well done. Well done. All right, so now we're going to A plus students.ca and we're going to contractions where we're going to go over pronoun, verb contractions, and also contractions with not. All right, so pronoun, verb contractions. And remember, we said that a contraction is a shortened form of two words. So you're like having two words, but you're shortening those two words and making it into one word. And then once we remove either letters, we then put an apostrophe in its place, and that will show where one or more than one letter is left out. And we see that contractions, it can be formed with the pronoun and it can be formed with a verb. And remember, we said that the pronoun stays the same, and then we either make changes by the verb by leaving out certain words, not even words, letters, right? All right, so now we're going to do a few activities and then we're going to our test. All right, so now it says we need to look at the sentence, right? We're going to look at the sentence and then we're going to change the word in bracket to the correct contraction. So it says, Mom is working, so she is not coming home until later. So mom is working, so she is not coming home until later. So she is. We need to shorten that word she is. So she is. How are we going to write she is? The contraction of she is. She is. How are we going to shorten that two words? All right. And if we were to shorten the word she is, then we will then say it is she's, because remember the pronoun says the same, which is she. We remove the I, we put an apostrophe in its place, and we bring the S, which is she's. So now we say mom is working, so she's not coming home until later. She's. All right. So she is. If we were to shorten those two words, then it's she's. Yes, well done. She's is correct. All right. So now we need to complete the sentence with the correct contraction. It says, if she is not sitting in that seat, may I? Here we have this word again, she is. How are we going to shorten the word she is? How are we going to shorten she is? So she is. How are we going to write that as a contraction, a shortened form of the two words? And since it's the same as the previous one, we can say she's. So if she's not sitting in that seat, may I? Well done. All right. The next one says kangaroos have strong back legs and they are fast hoppers. So they are. We need to find the shortened words of they are. Yes, well done. She's is correct. Now they are. Remember the pronoun says the same. And if we were to find the contractions of they are, they, which is the pronoun, says the same. We remove the a in the verb, put a apostrophe in its place, and then re. Right? right, so now we're going to our test where we are going to choose the pronoun verb agreement. All right, so we need to complete the sentence with the correct contraction, right? So look at the word in bracket and then we are going to choose the correct contraction. It says we are interested in learning more about the hawks and eagles. We are. We need to find the shortened words of we are. Is it option one, we are, or option two, we're? We need to find the contraction. So either option one, we are, or the second option, we're, which is the contraction of we are. And if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, the second option, which is we're, is basically the contraction of we are. Well done. So option two is correct. The next one says we need to complete the sentence with the correct contraction. When it is, so it is. When it is quiet at night, I can hear owls. So it is, we need to find the contraction of it is. Is it the first option, which is it is, or the second option, which is it's? So the first option, which is it is, or the second option, which is it's. And if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, well done. The second option is correct. So it is the contraction of it's, or it's is the contraction of it is. Well done. If you are, if you are going to the beach, may I come to? So if you are going to the beach, may I come to? So you are, we need to find the shortened version or the contraction of you are. So is it the first option, which is you are, or the second option, which is you are? And if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, the contraction of you are, well done, is option two, which is you are. You are, it's like you are. Well done. The next one says kangaroos have strong back legs and they are fast hoppers. So kangaroos have strong back legs and they are fast hoppers. We need to find the contraction of they are. Is it the first option, which is they are, or the second option, which is they are? So they are. Is it the first option, which is they are, or the second option, which is they are? Yes, and if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, well done. They are, which is the second option, is correct. Well done. All right, let's look at the last one. It says, if she is not sitting in that seat, may I? So if she is not sitting in that seat, may I? So she is option one, she is, or the second option, which is she's. We need to find the contraction of she is. All right, so she is. If we were to find the contraction of she is, then yes, she's is correct. Well done. She's is correct. Well done. All right, so now we're going to contractions with not. So contractions with not, and remember we said a contraction is a shortened form of two words, and there where we leave out words, an apostrophe will show whether one word or more than one word is left out. And we say that we have contractions with pronoun verbs, but now we can also have a contraction that can be formed by a verb as well as the word not. All right. So with the contractions of like where we have the word not in, right? It's basically where we have the verb as well as the word not. So the verb will then say the same. And then with not, we remove the O and we put the words together. All right. So here it says Josie was not finished with a story about horses. So was not. If we look at this word was not, then it means that the verb stays the same, which is was, and then the word not is going to change because we're going to leave the word in for not. We're going to remove the O, we put an apostrophe in its place, and we bring down the T. So wasn't. So Jessie was not finished with a story about horses, or we can say Jessie wasn't finished with a story about horses. Yes, that is correct. You basically just take away the O in not and we put an apostrophe in its place. So wasn't is correct. Was is the verb that says the same. With not, we leave out the O and we put those words together. Well done. All right, look at this word. does not. Donald does not remember where he left his camera. So does not. How are we going to find the contraction of the word does not? Remember we said the verb says the same, and in the word not we leave out the O. So does not. And if we were to choose the contraction of the word does not, then does stays the same. With not, we leave the N, we remove the O with an apostrophe in its place, and we bring the T, so doesn't. All right, so doesn't is correct. All right, so now we're going to our test where we're going to use contractions with not. All right, that says mom and dad were not surprised when Annie left early. We need to look at the sentence and then choose the correct word. So we not. Okay, it says we not, but it's not supposed to be we not. Were not. So mom and dad were not surprised when Annie left early. So is it option one, were not? Option two, weren't? Or option three, wouldn't? All right, and if you were to choose the correct option, we'll go with option three, were not for wouldn't. Yes, option three is correct. So it says Josie. The next one says Josie was not. We need to look at the word in bracket was not, and we need to find the contraction of that words in like either option one or option two. So was not finished with her story about horses. So option one was not, or option two wasn't. Yes, and if you were to choose the correct option, then yes, option two is correct. Well done. Wasn't is correct. All right, the next one says Maggie is not the only one who forgot a notebook. So Maggie is not the only one who forgot the book. So is not. We need to find the contraction of is not. Is it option one is not or option two isn't? So is not. Is it option one is not or option two isn't? Is not. Is it is not or isn't? And if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, option two isn't. Is not, isn't. The only one who forgot her notebook. Well done. The next one says the sailors are not. So the sailors are not leaving until early tomorrow morning. Are not. Is it option one, are not, or option two, aren't? We need to choose the correct option. Are not option one or are aren't option two? And if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, option two is correct. Aren't. All right, let's do one more. It says, I have not seen a butterfly like that before. So have not. Is it option one, have not, or option two, haven't? I have not seen a butterfly like that before. And if we were to choose the correct option, then have not. Right? If we were to look for the contraction of that word, then option two, yes, well done. Haven't is correct. Well done. All right, so this is the end of our lesson on contractions. We said that contractions is a shortened form of two words, and then we need to leave out one or two, one or more than one words within the contractions to basically show, or within, or let's say words, in order to show the contraction of that specific word. You can remove more than one word, but one apostrophe only. Right? So we can use contractions with pronouns and verbs as well as with not. All right, so this is the end of our lesson on contractions. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining, and I really hope you're going to have a good weekend further. So, until next time, goodbye.